Hounds of Love is a debut feature film by Ben Young, released in 2016 based on true events. In 1987, murderous couple John and Evelyn White roam the streets of Perth, Australia, searching for their next victim. Writer-director Ben Young has said that he drew on accounts of 9 different murderous couples in developing the script, which explores the psychological dependencies that lead female killers to assist their partners in murder. Reports from early on in the film's production suggest that the Birnies in particular were very much on the filmmakers' minds. Today I'm joined by the man who played John White, the psychopath, and then I'll say, and the actor, Stephen Curry.
So you're saying I'm the psychopath?
Oh no, I meant to say the psychopath John White. And
played by
the
sociopath.
Sorry, yeah, that's
and
right.
The distinction between the two is very important.
You have to be so careful with that. I didn't want to upset you.
Well, it's okay.
We've just met.
I'm a proud card-carrying sociopath, and when I get mistaken for a psychopath, it makes me I see red.
Your blood boils.
I become a psychopath because of you. It's sort of like the psychological version of misgendering.
That's right. It's exactly like that.
You know
I think you'll find.
You don't misgender me.
Yep.
And don't
misdiagnose you. Mispath you. Mispath. That's my drag name, Mispath.
Oh, it was my high school science teacher.
Mispath. Hey, Mispath.
She's now Mrs. Path. She kept her maiden name.
Mrs. Path. Yeah. Now, the actor Stephen Curry, as I always call you, because we don't want to get you confused with the basketball player.
Even though our mothers, they're the only ones that can tell us apart. Yes.
That's right. That's right. Now, this film, Hounds of Love, it came out a while ago. I saw it when it first came out. When did you first hear about this role? When was the first time that... Did Ben Young approach you, the filmmaker of the debut film?
He did. It was good. It was kind of like, I don't know, I've played a lot of comedy characters and I've played a lot of drama characters, but never been considered for something like this.
Never been able to show you full path?
No. When I got the script and I was asked to read the script, and just with kind of no... character attached to it.
Yeah, right.
I read the script and I kept looking for where my character would turn up.
You think it was going to be a funny...
the postman who falls over on his way through the door or something.
Yeah.
And then went, he means he wants me to play John. And so John is, as you mentioned, is a psychopath.
Yeah.
And he is basically the worst human imaginable.
Yeah.
And I was sort of... honoured and a little bit disappointed that he thought of me.
Typecast right away.
Pretty much. Yeah. No, it was great. I read it and it blew me away. And it was it's such a beautiful script. And I mean beautiful. It's a harrowing film. I've had so many people say to me, I love that film so much and I will never ever watch it again.
I watched it a long time ago and it's a hard watch because it is you are so tense the entire time because you don't actually know, and I think this is the beauty of the film as well, you don't know when the horrors are going to happen.
No.
There's no music leading up to it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and Ben is a master of suspense and of psychological... his ability to play on the psychology of the characters and between the characters is masterful. Yeah. And so what he did, as I mentioned to you before off air, Ben Young is a master. He shuts the door. Yep. So much of this film is about the audience's imagination of what's happening, which is
scarier in
horrific.
A way, I think. Yeah,
it's horrific. I mean, let's lay it bare. It is a couple who abduct and torture and murder young girls.
Yep.
It's horrific. But to play that, and we'd mentioned Snowtown before. I think Snowtown is an incredible film.
Oh, it's great.
But the difference between the two is that Snowtown leaves the door open and you see everything. There's nothing left to the imagination, whereas with Hounds of Love, Ben Young has created this piece of cinematic brilliance in that he leaves it up to you, which I think actually is probably more effective.
I think so, absolutely.
As a filmmaking tool, just purely because that way it's in your mind's eye and you know what's happening.
Yeah. I remember reading something years ago about it's scarier when you see, when like a horror film or something, if the killer runs after you, it's scary, but if they walk after you, it's much scarier because you're like, oh, they're not worried about what's going to happen to them.
No.
They've got nothing to lose, and I think that's the
Yeah.
beauty of that as well. In the film, so it starts on a netball court, and it's all slow motion, and there is a lot of slow motion in this film.
Yep.
My reading of that was is it slowing down time in Perth, and also that these two were able to get away with it? Because the Birnies, in Perth only lasted 5 weeks. Their reign of terror was five weeks.
Yep.
In Perth, this sort of thing had never happened before.
No.
What was the understanding of the kind of the slowdown of time?
Yeah, I think it is. It's part of the psychology of it. It's part of them taking the time to choose their victims.
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
But also, that's slowing down of time. And it's interesting you mentioned time, because having spoken to a lot of people over in WA who were there during the time, it's like time has slowed down in that regard.
For sure.
And so all of these people, it's like it happened yesterday, and it was mid-80s.
Yep.
We shot in some way. We had our unit base in this guy's front yard one day, and he came up to me and he said, "Oh, so this film, is this about the Birnies?" And as you mentioned, it's inspired by a lot of different couples.
Yeah,
so Fred and Rosemary West over in the UK from the 90s. It's about
There's a bit of the Barbies, the Ken and Barbie killers. There's a bit of
it's about sort of codependence and the psychology of that, which we can get into. But he said to me, he goes, "So is this about the Birnies?" And I said, "No," because we'd been told. Not about the Birnies. Not about the Birnies.
Of course.
Anyone else? Not about the Birnies.
I imagine filming it there would be quite a different, because that would be such a horrific thing for a lot of people in Perth of that generation.
Yeah, and because time has slowed down so much in terms of that, and it will never not be fresh in the minds of the people that were there while it was happening. Right?
Yeah.
And I said, no, it's not about the Birnies. It's kind of about the psychology of couples. And he said, "Oh, that's good. Because if this was about the Birnies, I would have told you to fuck off."
Wow.
And not come back.
Oh my God.
Now that's that idea, that idea of time, and that there is no way that people will recover from that feeling of their beautiful, innocent city being overtaken by this fear. And by this this evil.
Well, it changed the landscape. It really did. Like, everything was different after the Birnies, but it is about different people. Now, before we get into like the psychology of these people, what was it? So you are known for playing comedy characters. You're a comedian. You've always kind of had that comedy lilt in a way. Was that always what you wanted to do as an actor, or were you always just wanting to act and you kind of got cast in comedy films?
I always wanted to do comedy.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
I look, I grew up in a family of 5 kids, and we were all kind of, everyone was wrestling for attention and for time. And
we wrestled just before we started the podcast.
Yeah, well, that's it. And it was nice too. The jelly I thought was unnecessary.
A weird touch.
But still appreciated.
Thank you so much for saying that.
No, I appreciate you.
I wasn't sure how you felt.
Sticky.
But
slippery. I don't know. I'm the youngest of 5, so from a young age, the joy of getting a laugh out of your siblings was pretty great. And so that kind of then went into, how about I never get a real job?
Great.
And I just make my job pretending to be other people and occasionally walking into walls.
Was that your pitch to your parents?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you reckon they went with
I
that?
reckon they were pretty good about that.
Well, they were
as a
hoping I'd
backup, why don't you get a
they
degree?
said get something to fall back on.
Yeah.
So I've got podcasts that I get.
And you'll
I'm
always
a guest
have
on
podcasts.
podcasts.
Yes. Mostly mine.
Yeah, and it pays handsomely. Psychologically,
as a pack.
it pays very handsomely.
Very handsomely. So in this, you got this script. How did you go? Because I don't even know. Sorry, my dog is just... Diggs, come on, mate. Come on.
Doing?
Playing with all his toys. He's really showing off.
Is that Kermit the Frog?
It is Kermit the Frog.
Okay.
It's Froggy. He's a big fan of this guy.
Right.
He wanted you to meet him.
I'm so glad this is actually a visual podcast.
Oh, I know,
Because then
yeah.
people can, when Diggs comes up and throws Kermit in your lap again, that people can get a real...
That's right. A real
handle on what's happening.
real
Sorry,
handle
mate. I interrupted.
on the carnage.
Yeah.
No, so when you approached this role, how did you do some, did you do a lot of research on kind of these couples?
He sent me a bunch of the books about the different couples that he had been inspired by.
Yep.
And he wanted to kind of it was a sort of an exploration of how a couple like this comes about.
Sure.
And there are these crazy similarities psychologically between a lot of these couples that he was studying, right? And one of the big ones was an older man finds a younger woman, almost like the bird with its wing clipped.
Yeah, yeah.
The younger woman who's been starved of love and showers them with love and gives them everything they've ever wanted from a man, a father figure as well as a lover, as well as a confidant, as well as all that stuff that these young women who've been starved of this.
Diggs, come on, mate. This is so inappropriate. Diggs, this is so inappropriate.
Right into my balls. Yeah, and it was I find that fascinating. It's heartbreaking and fascinating, and you kind of the moment that then, and it seems like it's across the board with all these couples. The moment that he's got them, where he wants them, they'll do whatever they can, to please.
Yes,
and this is kind of partly where the title Hounds of Love comes from.
Yep,
is that in the film, John has effectively been the reason why Evelyn has had her kids taken away.
Yes, yeah.
He gives her a dog to replace the kids. It's this idea of kind of showering her with the love that she's needed.
Yeah.
And replacing the love that she's lost. And then he decides when he will give and take that, take that away. And no spoiler alert, but he will decide when he's in charge of her, and that's where he wants to be. And in this film, which happens so often with these characters, and that David Birnie is one of them, is that he's the king of his domain.
Yes.
If he's in his house, he's the king.
And what I love
he's
about
a god.
how it was shown as well is that there is a moment when he's outside of his domain and he has people chasing him for money.
There's a precipice, right?
Yeah.
And when he goes over the precipice, which is his front door step, he's nobody, and he knows it.
Yeah.
And this film shows it.
Yes. Yeah.
He's just a joke. He's nobody.
Yeah.
But in his house, he's everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so even some of the beauty of Ben's storytelling there is in the design of it. The design of the house. The house is order, and it's all John's order.
Yes.
And it needs to be met. His breakfast, everything from his breakfast to the ashtray to everything is ordered the way he wants it.
Yeah.
And actioned by Evelyn.
Yes.
To please him.
Yep.
Because if she doesn't please him, she knows that, the way you might scold a dog.
Yeah.
That the best way for her to be able to carry on within this happy environment is to please him at all costs.
Yes, yeah. The normalcy that is shown kind of in that relationship as well. I mean, not the control, but the normalcy of her talking to the dog because she's excited to see the dog in quite an excited way when there's a girl chained up in the room. It shows just her complete his complete control over Evelyn.
Yeah, absolutely. And also the normalcy, this great word, normalcy, well done.
Thank you so much for saying that.
And I did say hit the thesaurus before we start chatting, and
you said you've got to do some work,
and you've run with it.
I've had 6 months since we've seen each other. I've done some work.
But the house itself, in lesser hands of Paddy Reardon, who was the designer.
Yeah,
the house itself could have been like this House of Horrors.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Visually.
Yep.
In lesser hands, but it's not. And I think part of the terror of this film is how normal everything looks on the surface, and how horrifically abnormal the reality of their situation is. I think it's like that's kind of, I don't know. Again, I'll just go back to the word mastery. There are so many elements to this film that create this fear in a psychological way, rather than in a visual way. And it's so important. And the score is beautiful.
Yes.
And the use of, because slow-mo can be overused and can be just a bit shit.
Absolutely. Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
you look at Underbelly or whatever. They just go, we've just got to fill some more time here. And Vince
Gotta be 50
Colosimo's
minutes.
walking, so let's make it slow or whatever,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. But the way he uses that slow-mo.
Yep.
And the way so they did there's this great technique, right, where you're shooting at 100 frames a second, which is super, super slow, but they drive super fast past the most normal suburban scene you can imagine. A girl skipping through a sprinkler.
Yep.
A guy mowing his lawn.
Someone just taking their shopping in.
Someone taking the shopping in, someone washing the car, whatever happens on any street. And so because they've shot it at 100 frames and they've gone so fast past it, you see this microcosm of the world in such detail and such kind of it beautifully takes its time that you know that happening all around this horror is normalcy. Thank you again for that word. But that there are so many elements. I'm so proud of this film.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen a bunch of films that I've done that I've just kind of gone, well, okay, it's a film. It's all in focus, and that's great.
It's all in focus.
I blink too often or whatever, or whatever. But I remember watching this film for the first time, and I watched it with my brother Pete. And he's a very honest critic.
Right. Great.
He's called numerous of my films the worst film of all time, and which
Numerous
doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
You can't have numerous films that are the worst film of all time.
No, that's actually true.
I think he was being a bit rough.
Diggs. Come on, mate. Come on.
It's nice to have Diggs here while we're talking about Hounds of Love, though. By the way,
It is good. Yeah. He's a different kind of hand of love.
Lick my teeth
Diggs.
up.
He's trying to have his tea. All right, Diggs. Up.
And we
What
watched
did Pete say?
We watched it together, and Pete just said that is a masterpiece, and it was great to kind of have that. I mean, you're knocking the camera with your tail.
I'm just going to move him. Come on, Diggs. Out. Let me just make sure this is all hunky-dory.
Are we live?
Yeah, sorry. So you're watching with Pete?
Yeah, watched it with Pete, and he got to the end, and it was just like this moment at the end where it's not a film where you get to the end of it and go and you clap. It's not a film where you get to the end of it and say, that was wonderful, I want to watch that again. You might, as I said, a lot of my friends said, I loved it so much that I'll never see it again.
Yes, yeah.
But he turned to me and he just said, that is a masterpiece, because it does. It sits with you.
Yeah.
And you it's so moving and so horrible. And there is redemption in there, and it's not for my character. My character deserves no redemption at all. Spoiler alert. But that you wear it.
Yeah.
And we wore it while we were shooting it too, because my mum was over. We shot it over in Fremantle, and I live in Melbourne, and my mum was over for a couple of days, and so I was kind of every day. All I was thinking while we were shooting, kept going through my brain was I have to get back and be with my kids.
Yeah.
Because this stuff happens, you know, and you know, thankfully it happens to very, very, very few people, but it does happen, and it was so affecting.
Yep.
That I was kind of going home to. That's not me sniffing, by the way. That's Diggs. It took a long time to wash it off. Most things you go home and you just whatever. You have a shower, you have a beer, you learn the lines for the next day, and you go to bed.
Yeah.
With this one, it wasn't that. I wasn't able to just wash it off and go about my day.
No.
It stuck with me.
So when we were talking before about, you actually getting the script, you start thinking about the character, you get the books to do the research. How do you get, as someone who has done a lot of comedy before, how do you start to prepare for a role like this?
There are a few more rules that you put in for yourself personally.
Yep.
Because there is a far greater importance on telling it right.
Yeah, sure.
And it's not usually I can improvise my way around scenes that aren't quite working.
Yep,
Or you
sure.
can chuck in some whatever. If it's a comedy, you can chuck in some whatever silliness that can kind of get us to the next bit.
Sure.
This is about honouring people who've been through that experience.
Yeah.
As much as telling a story that should never have happened and should never happen again.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think I'll ever be in a better film. I'll be honest. I don't think I'll be in a more affecting film.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I ever want to play that character ever again.
No.
Because as I said, it just took forever, and I've seen it. We did a commentary on it, and it was only recently. It was only probably only about a year ago.
Yeah, okay.
And I hadn't seen it in years. And I saw it again, and even doing the commentary, it's sort of a bit of an abridged version of watching it because you're yakking through it. And
Yeah.
But it all kind of came flooding back again, and it does. It's I don't know. I really do think it's one of the best films I've seen.
Yeah, it's great.
And I don't
it's such a good
say
film.
that even, well, I'm sort of taking myself out of it that I'm even in the thing. It's more about the skill with creating that I don't want to say suspense because it doesn't really honour that, but that creating that fear and creating that horrible world is I don't know. Ben Young's skill is I think he's one of the best.
Yeah. What was the reception to you playing it from people that knew you?
Yeah.
I didn't mean to say new. I mean know you.
Do you know that thing about where politicians say something like, "As a father of daughters, I feel this." Whatever.
Yeah.
And people balk at that because it should be about as a human.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's an interesting one because the reaction has been different from different people.
Yeah.
Almost invariably, fathers of daughters haven't been able to watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, I don't know what that says about us as humans, but. That affected a lot of my mates who had daughters in a different way than it did young that had boys or that didn't have kids. Or and I don't know what to make of that. And I don't think it's what it is. What it is. I hate that expression, but it is what it is. But yeah, different responses right around the board, but no one said they were bored. No one said that it didn't affect them. No one said that it was overplayed or it was over-directed or it was overwritten, because I think all of those elements were really finely realised.
Yes. Yeah. I think The Boys the Australian film with David Wenham has a similar feeling where you kind of watch it and you kind of just feel this discomfort the entire time. But with this one, it's even more because you actually see the people that it's affecting the most.
Yeah.
So how important was the distinction for it not to be 100% the Birnies?
Oh, incredibly important.
Yeah.
Incredibly important.
Yeah.
Ben's a Western Australian.
Oh, okay,
He
right.
lived through it as well as a kid.
Yeah.
Very important. And again, and it is, and it's hard to delineate between the Birnies and this story because it happened in the same city in the same year.
Yeah.
In very similar fashion.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. I think it's a year later. I think this is.
Oh,
it's 1 year later. Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
so that was
86,
86. But
exactly. Yeah,
splitting hairs, I guess.
on that.
But yeah, I think we from the start it was, we're not making the story about the Birnies, and I think that's really important because the moment you are making the story about the Birnies, then you are kind of hamstrung.
Yeah.
In terms of how to play that relationship.
Yes.
And how to play the motivations and how to play all that stuff that you kind of need in your little toolbox.
Yep.
To create bigger picture.
Yeah, yeah. The actual the film itself, so the relationship of the Birnies is very different. She was way more complicit, I think, in the actual murders as well.
Yeah.
And involved in the assault as well. Yeah.
So that's where that correlation between them and the Fred and Rosemary West in the UK comes in. So Rosemary West was had maintained that she was kind of a pawn in Fred's game.
Yes, yeah.
But actually was very much complicit, and one of their first victim was their own daughter.
Yes, yeah. Who they buried in the backyard. I remember that was
So when they ran out of room in the backyard, they started burying them underneath the house. I think they ended up with, they found 9 bodies. Or 20 or something. Anyway, that was the importance, to kind of just be able to take, and the Ken and Barbie killers, and to take these elements and these similarities, as I mentioned before, and what motivates these characters, and what I don't know how they can justify their own actions, and to live so normally outside of, alongside of, but separate from what's happening in the next room.
Yeah.
It's unimaginable.
Yes, yeah.
To thankfully to 99.999% of people, but those people exist where they can, and it comes down to power, and there's so much of that power involved in the relationship between John and Evelyn.
Yes,
and the power imbalance, I guess.
Yeah.
I think if she was complicit or more complicit in the behaviour, then her redemption would have been harder to achieve.
Yeah.
In a way. Am I spoiling everything?
No. I think anyone that wants to watch the film, it's an amazing film. It's available on YouTube. It's available on Apple TV. It's available in a few other places, and it's such a good film to watch. And you will probably only want to watch it once. I've watched it twice now. I couldn't believe it the first time that I saw it, because being a big fan of yours, it's such a interesting thing to see you in this character, because you have, probably the most recognisable face in Australia from thecastle.com. I think that's what the film was called.
Oh, yeah.
From The Castle. Everyone just knows your face. And from your work after, everyone knows your face. So it's from the moment you see your eyes in the film, you seem like that's the first part you see of you in the rear vision mirror. It is such a different person.
Yeah, right. Okay, that's good. Well, I like that.
Yeah, it's just such a different person. You go, this isn't the comedy person that we've known for years. This isn't the person that pops up in everything. Like, this isn't the guy, Mr. Black. Like everything is different in this. Yeah, which is really interesting.
Yeah. Well, thank you. That's a nice thing to say. Ben was asked numerous times about why did he choose me?
Yeah,
and he said, which I thought was very kind and lovely. He said, "Well, who wouldn't get in a car with Stephen Curry?" And it's like, well, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Plenty of people probably wouldn't. You seen my car? It's a mess. I think we sort of wanted to, and this was kind of came into the character too when we went very deep into what sort of a character can encourage a 17-year-old girl into their car.
Yes, and
it helps to have your wife in the seat next to you. And
a baby seat in the back.
Baby seat in the back. And the baby seat in the back is such an indelible image, because she looks and she goes, I'm not sure about this. And she looks in the back and there's a baby seat, and there's something very disarming about the baby seat. But we wanted to, we did this real deep dive on sociopaths and psychopaths. And I'm still not quite sure. I mean, I think he's kind of just got the whole grab bag of all.
So I interviewed John Ronson, and it was he has a book called The Psychopath Test.
Right.
And in his research, he found you passed, absolutely. Okay, cool. You are both. He found that there isn't much of a distinction between both of them. Like, they're very similar in the way that people present.
Yes, but one of the tools in the toolbox of the sociopath and the psychopath is the ability to affect empathy and to affect charm.
Yes, yeah.
And, like people who walk, you don't know if you're walking past a sociopath.
Sure.
Because they know how to
present
the facial
so well.
expression well, I wasn't say you because you are a sociopath, but
Thank you.
But they invariably have the social tools to be able to pass off as
Absolutely.
just you and me.
They're usually very successful people as well. They're usually CEOs, high-powered people, and very smart people because they can present really well.
Yeah.
It gets them further.
Well, that was what we said. We said if he twirls his moustache and he just looks evil from the get-go, then you kind of have lost. The reality of his aim, which is to win the trust of the people he's going to ultimately kill.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert. So that was kind of a really important part of it for us, is to kind of create characters that can win you over.
Yes, yeah.
And that can convince you that they have your best interests at heart.
Mm-hmm.
And that one, I feel like there was an interesting moment where I got to work on the Monday morning of week 2 and had a chat with one of the producers who said, we might just see if we can get a couple of versions. He's smiling a bit, and he's sort of being a bit charming,
right,
in some parts. I thought, I've never been accused of being charming. This is
kudos.
This is rare territory. But it was a very healthy and robust conversation.
Yeah,
let's put it mildly.
Yeah.
Over breakfast, and we just there were a couple of versions done, and then in the end, I think we were right in the end.
Yeah,
to kind of just go, he when he needs to be, and when the stakes are lower for him, he can show his true colours.
Yep.
But when the stakes are up, and when the game is on, and I don't mean to say that lightly, by the way.
Yeah.
To him, it's a game.
Yeah.
He needs to pull out all of his affectations, all of his personal affectations, personality affectations, which are charm and empathy, and all those things that he does not possess naturally.
Yeah.
But he's seen it in other people, and he can borrow it.
Yeah.
For his own gain.
I think going back to the Birnies as well, the difference in the relationship as well. There's so many differences, but one of them in particular was that she was trying to get her kids back. Where Catherine Birnie had, I think, about 7 kids that she left behind to be with.
John.
To be with David and John in the film.
Yeah.
So there are so many different distinctions in this film.
Yeah.
How important was it to focus on just one of the victims rather than showing a slew? You have the start where you see one victim get into the car, and then you see she's at home while he goes and buries the victim, and then it focuses on one person for the rest.
Yeah, I think hugely important because then you build this relationship between the main Ashley Cummings who plays this main girl is so astonishing.
Oh, she's so good.
She's so great.
Yeah.
And Emma Booth is incredible.
Unrecognisable as well, yeah.
But for their relationship to build and for their trust and their almost their codependence within this world was hugely important.
Yep.
Because if not, you just end up with kind of a stream of people who have to start again.
Yes, yeah.
And that there becomes this kind of triumvirate between the 3 characters. Word for you, triumvirate.
Yeah, great. I'm going to write that one down as well.
But that is at the core of this film. Is the correlation and the connection between those 3 characters and how it plays out, and what John wants to wrestle, what John wants to maintain in the face of another codependent relationship happening inside his domain.
Yeah, absolutely. Triumvirate. Did I use that right?
Triumvirate?
Triumvirate?
Did I use it right?
Did I use it right? Just use it out of context anywhere. Just go, triumvirate. Did I use that right?
Triumvirate. 3. Yeah, let's go with that.
In the relationship itself. So why was it? I guess the focus on the relationship and the highly dysfunctional relationship that it is. Was that a part of the script? I mean, it's a very big part of the script and the characters themselves. How interesting was that for you to take on that relationship itself between John and Evelyn? What was taking that on? It's a very, very, very complicated, controlling relationship that is very hard, I imagine, to get your head around.
It is, and it requires any performance that you do with other performers requires trust, right? So you've got to be in each other's hands.
Yes,
and you've got to have them in your hands.
Yep.
and without that, a scene is nothing.
Yeah,
the connection's gone. This one, it seemed to me anyway, was more important than I'd ever experienced, to be on the same page and to be there to catch each other.
Yes, yep.
And equally with Ashley Cummings' character, because I love her as a human being. I think she's an incredible actress, as I said before. But I had this intrinsic need to protect her throughout this.
Sure.
Right? And so that's that kind of understanding and that say symbiosis, I guess. Is that another good word?
It's another good word.
Between us, because without that, it's sort of, I don't know. I just wouldn't have, because it's what's happening to her. She's such a thorough actor. She's so prepared and she's so involved and she's so immersed in that character that it's happening to her.
Yeah, yeah.
It is happening to her. And I'm going through the whole thing about my fear for my own kids and the fact that I'm perpetrating this horrible shit against her.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was one of the, again, I think joys is a weird word to use, but in terms of the four of us, I guess, with Ben Young as well, that relationship on set, off set, immersed in the story was paramount.
Yes, yeah.
Without it, we would have been goners.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
We had to have trust.
Yeah. What? Because when you take on a project, like if it's Bay of Fires, if it's whatever you're working on,
yeah,
you're obviously forming a connection as actors to work together in a lot of circumstances. But I imagine if you're playing, the husband of someone, if you're playing, the brother of someone, you're forming something outside of that script and everything to have that relationship.
Yeah,
it would be really different forming a relationship with people who you've got these really complicated, especially Evelyn, you got this really complicated relationship with that person.
Yeah, it is. And I think the importance for us was to outside of that moment, that between action and cut, to remember to have joy at being with each other. Remember to like it's a very, very privileged position to be able to play any character, really.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of we just had each other. And if one of us was having a horrible day, and almost certainly one of us was during this whole thing due to what was kind of arising from what we were doing.
Yeah.
We had to have joy. We had to have, I don't even want to call it gallows humor, but that idea that we are still creating something and we want to create something special.
Yeah.
And so that there was a lot of joy involved in being there for each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I had my little, ukulele, and I don't know whether it annoyed Ashley or not, but I would kind of go in and on her, lower moments and, I don't know, sing her a song.
Just sing her a song.
And she said that she really liked it. I don't know.
But
she
you're
might
not
have been
sure.
really nice.
You're not sure.
Anyway, I've got my ukulele here.
Yeah, great. If you could play us out.
Yeah.
Well, so one more question about the about the actual release of the film. So it was brought out, I think, 2017, maybe in Australia, but it was released a year early. So you had it in film festivals first?
Yeah. So it won. Ashley won Best Actress at the.
I can look it up if you
Big
want.
one in Italy. Anyway, at the
Venice?
At Venice,
Yeah,
she won
yeah.
Best Actress there.
Yeah.
We were at South by Southwest and won some awards there, and then we went to Tribeca.
Is that where you saw Whoopi Goldberg in the lift?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
we
tell
went
me.
to Tribeca, right, and that was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Just to kind of be in this world where it's like it's just not my world.
Yeah.
And it was received really well over in New York.
Did the Nugget not do the film festivals?
No. Surprises. I'm as surprised as you are. One of the films that my brother Pete said was the worst film ever made. Anyway, but yeah, so we were there. So we were over in New York, and the film was about to be released in the States.
Yes.
Right? And at this point, when we got to Tribeca, we had 100 on Rotten Tomatoes. So anyone who's not aware of what this is, it's basically like a database of all of the reviews for a particular film. There would have been something like 60 or 70 reviews with 100 score, which is basically every single review is positive.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be 5-star review. It just has to be a predominantly positive review.
Yep.
Right. And so anyway, the distribution company over there, they were very excited because we're doing Tribeca, and 4 days later, the film's going to open in New York, LA, Chicago, all around the place on quite a big release. And so all we were waiting for was the New York Times. And so that was coming out the day after Tribeca, which was maybe 3 days before the release of the film. And then we opened up the New York Times, and it was, oh my God, like it was
scathing.
One of the worst
reviews
I've ever seen. And it was kind of, and it's a reminder of, in our game, it's like it's such a heartbreak. Like it's such a heartbreak.
Course.
Like who'd make them? And it's so there is this fine line between a raging success and a failure box office wise.
Yeah.
But the New York Times, like Variety, had reviewed it with 5 stars. The Washington Post, the Hollywood Reporter, all of the ones that you want, industry wise, for the industry to go and see it, all said this is a great film.
Yep.
And then the New York Times is the one that gets people to go and actually go to the cinema.
Right.
And it was I think it was like a no star.
Oh wow.
1 star.
It's so hard as well. It's one person that reviews it as well.
100%.
Yeah.
So this one person's opinion effectively killed it. They pulled heaps of the screens.
Oh my God.
They pulled a lot of the sessions. It just capitulated.
Wow.
Which is such a shame. And it was kind of like, again, it's water off a duck's back really, because, that was, when was that? 2017. So that's like, 27 years into my career.
Yeah.
So I've seen it happen a lot.
Yeah.
Bad reviews get around and no one goes and sees your film. But this one was a long day. It usually just takes a day to get over it. That was a long day.
Of course it was. Yeah.
And we went out in New York and got really pissed.
Yeah.
And kind of went, well, that's a bummer, isn't it? But then the news came in that we'd been pulled from, no one was going to go and see it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a real shame, because I don't have any great designs on being successful overseas. I love working here. I love being here. I love our industry. I think we've got so much to be proud of. But yeah, it was just one of those kind of sliding doors moments, I guess.
Of course, from one review.
Yeah. So it was a killer. It called it torture porn.
Oh wow.
And that's your killer.
Yeah.
And I disagree wholeheartedly.
Absolutely.
But again, it's one person's review, torture porn. So, I think what I was talking about before about leaving the door open, that's kind of where torture porn comes into it. Getting entertainment out of the torture. This film does not do that.
No.
This film, you don't see any torture. You
No.
see leading up to torture, you know that torture is happening.
Yep.
It's kind of, again, when it comes back into the mind of the viewer as to what it looks like behind that door, then I guess it's theatre of the mind.
Yeah.
Torture porn, if that's but this reviewer saw it as that.
Yes.
And it's fascinating to me, like everyone's got an opinion now and everyone's got a platform. And when you kind of read when you get a bit of clickbait on your phone or whatever, like the internet is saying this.
Yeah.
No, it's one guy.
You're saying that.
Fucking Narry Warren.
Yeah. Always in Narry Warren.
Or wherever.
Yeah.
It's like, and hello to everyone in Narry Warren.
Yeah,
by
thanks
the
for
way.
listening.
I love your opinions. But Corey the Party Boy?
Yeah.
He came from,
He's from there.
Narry Warren.
Yeah, did an episode on him recently.
Could have been Corey.
Yeah, could have been Corey.
Corey Worthington.
Corey Worthington.
I still love Corey Worthington. The interview that he did with
Kyle Sandilands or the actual current affair
it was like
one?
a current affair,
Yeah, it was.
I think. And
They asked him
she
to take
said,
his-
"You take your sunglasses off."
Yeah.
And he said, "No, I'm going to keep them on." She said, "You should take a good hard look at yourself." And he said, "I have. Everyone has. They love it.
They love it. It's so
They
good.
love it."
Imagine being 16 and saying that.
Yeah, I know.
It's so good.
Anyway, sorry, that's my fault. I digress.
We're talking about torture porn, and we're talking about
Yeah, so that was in my game. There is just this constant stream of sliding doors moments.
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you if the castle hadn't fallen in my lap in 1996.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
I wouldn't even have had that fall in my lap if I hadn't met a man called Ed Bailey when I was 8 years old who took me into his amateur theatre group, and taught me a love for it. All these sliding doors moments. You can't then bemoan the one in 2017 where some yank thinks you filmed shit.
No.
It kind of it's a byproduct of the heartbreak that is my game. And I have so many parents and stuff of kids who were great as Danny Zuko in Greece in the High School Musical or whatever. And I so often get asked this advice about now Tony, everyone's saying he should be a professional actor. Yeah. What is your advice? And my knee-jerk reaction is don't.
Yeah.
Like, has he got a thick skin? Yeah. Can he take constant rejection? Can he have his hopes built up to a certain point and absolutely crushed before his eyes almost joyously?
Yeah. Time and time again.
Like reviewers in this country, Lee Patch, he's just mean.
Yeah.
They're all mean and stuff.
Yeah.
Helen Razor, she's so politically motivated. But I think I might have told you about her review of Pine Gap.
No.
So I was in that. It was in Pine Gap, and it was a Netflix ABC.
The great Emily Tahini.
With the great Emily.
No. Oh no, she was in a district. Oh, she was in a different one.
She was in Population 11.
Population 11. Sorry.
She reviewed that. So she's a rabid lefty, right?
Yep.
She hates Pine Gap as a concept.
Right.
And she's not alone.
Sure.
Okay. It polarizes.
Yep.
And anyway, Pine Gap came out, I thought it was pretty good.
Yep.
Was it the greatest show ever made? No. Was it the worst? No. I thought it was pretty good.
What'd your brother think?
He didn't even review that one.
Yeah, right.
Thankfully. But she reviewed that, and it just stinks, actually. It's so lazy. She said, this show is a stinking turd laid in a tepid bath by a toddler.
Oh my God. A tepid bath by a toddler.
Quote. And hello to Helen if you're listening, but yeah,
Thanks
I
for
think
listening,
you're
Helen.
lazy, and that's my review. I give you no stars.
I call her Helen Laser.
I give you no
Lazy.
stars for your inability to separate yourself from
Yeah.
your own
Your own
leanings from a production that might not align with your thoughts.
Well, that's
anyway,
the thing. It's
there
only
you
one
go.
person.
That's my review of Helen
There's a
Razor.
great, if you haven't seen Joan Rivers, A Piece of Work, the great documentary about Joan Rivers, there is a moment when she's in London and she's got rave reviews in Edinburgh for her show.
Yeah.
And because she suffered from, well, she's just had really bad reviews in the past in New York, she decided to open her show in London to go,
Right.
if the reviews are bad here, I won't go to New York because I can't take it there.
Yeah.
She got her bad reviews in New York from like one person.
Yeah.
Decided not to go and take it to New York. And it's an amazing part because you go, yep, she'll move on to the next thing tomorrow. But right now, she's taken some time to go, the reviews were really bad in London. and she says in it, you know, I'm still getting rejected at my age. And at the time, she was like, you know, 70-something years old. And she's going, I'm still getting rejected. I'm still getting rejected. I'm still getting rejected, which is amazing. One more thing to talk about before you go.
Yes.
What was the first time that you saw the film?
Yeah. So that was with my brother.
Yep.
We were over in Perth. We were in a little kind of a editing theatre
Yep.
in Perth, and yeah, it blew me away.
Yeah.
It blew me away.
Yeah.
And also one of the skills with Ben too. He reordered some of the scenes in there,
Right.
for flow and for pacing. And I don't really want to say which ones he did because I don't.
Yeah,
Anyone who
yeah.
hasn't seen it, I don't want to ruin it. But I sort of went, oh right, that's there, and it's perfect.
Yeah, wow.
And a lot of it was in the first act or in that sort of establishing the world sort of stuff. And it was just a masterful move.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
so clever.
Clever.
Even the script itself was like, it was so beautiful and it seemed to have that great flow, but then he'd seen that to increase that tension and to increase that and I don't even want to say pace, because pace probably isn't even the issue with this one. It so often is the issue with comedies and with a lot of dramas is pace throughout the storytelling, but it was more just that opening structure.
Yes.
To get us to, there's when the opening credits pop up, so you can't really say it's a spoiler when you're talking about the opening credits.
No.
We find Evelyn on the doorstep and she's doing this incredible 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah.
Which we've built up to this and now we're in.
Yeah.
And we now know what this world is and now we're off on this horrific ride.
It's an incredible stare. Like just that as the Hounds of Love comes on the screen, it's amazing.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It's so good.
The day I ran into Boothie, so she played my daughter in Cloud Street.
Right, yeah.
Right. And so then all of a sudden, what was this? 6 years later, she's playing my wife.
Yeah.
Hounds of Love. Anyway, so we knew each other pretty well. And
Yeah.
I ran into her and she said, "Oh, I'm so excited because I've got contacts and I've got this I've got like a wig and I've got these teeth," and I'm going, what fucking Austin Powers? Like I didn't know whether I was going to see her and she was like, "Yeah, baby," or whatever, but far out.
That's
then
so
I
funny.
saw her, and Emma is strikingly beautiful.
She's an actor and model and yeah,
she's just a really, whatever the classic idea of strikingly beautiful is, she's a strikingly beautiful person, or, visual, whatever.
A visual,
Sound
what are you about
really
to say?
bad. But she's very beautiful.
Yeah.
And I saw her then, the next time I saw her, she was in all of their thing, and she was unrecognizable, but in a really, really downplayed way. And this is kind of part of the subtlety of the film too. It's not about making her ugly. It's not about that at all.
Yeah.
It's about making her kind of unnoticeable.
Yeah.
I think
that
would
she
be the
blend in.
word.
Yeah.
She'd blend in.
Yep.
And she's not going to, you're not going to go, "Who's that?" You're
Yeah,
just going to go,
yeah.
"Oh, okay, that's another person or whatever." And she's not, and it's not like she's not like they've made her physically unattractive by any stretch.
No.
And whatever the markers of that is.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? I feel like I'm going to get cancelled for all this stuff.
No.
But and it's sort of with me, and they said, "Oh, we'll put a mo on you and we'll do all that sort of stuff," and I wear this singlet and I've got greasy hair and I just look like any other dude walking around in Perth.
Yeah.
In the 80s. A friend of mine, she saw it and she was pretty blown away by the whole film. And she goes, "One thing I have to say," and I hate saying it, cuz is, I found you kind of handsome.
That's beautiful.
She said that Mo made your eyes kind of pop, and I kept thinking, God, I've never seen him look so handsome. And
Playing a massive
so
psychopath.
I've known this woman for many years, and of all the things that I thought she was going to say, it wasn't. I just felt
that really took you by
bad 'cause
surprise.
I found you really handsome.
That's amazing.
And no one's ever accused me of that. I'm no oil painting.
Oh my God, you are absolutely. And thank you, Cuz, for joining me on the podcast.
Mate.
Hounds of Love. Go and check it. It's on all the things. It's so worth watching. It's so good. And I've seen it twice.
Oh, you've seen it twice.
Yeah,
You're
I watched it when it originally came out,
You're
and
a
then I watched it
sicko.
again last night.
You're a
Yeah, I'm
sicko.
a goddamn sicko.
Yeah.
But it's lovely being a sicko with you today.
Well, I've had an absolute ball. Thank you. And
You're
do you
the
know
best.
what?
What's that?
You know what I like about this podcast?
What's that?
Not another crime podcast.
Yeah.
I reckon, how many times would I have done your
My other one, Confessions. So many times.
This is the first time I've sat with you
Yeah.
in front of microphones
Yeah.
and not heard about someone taking a shit where they shouldn't.
I know, or ghost sex or something like
Yeah.
that. It's quite nice, isn't it? Nice change. The most serious conversation we've ever had.
I hope it's the most serious conversation we ever have.
Yeah,
In
same.
fact, it might be the last. Do you know what I
You
mean?
never talk to me
Your
again.
dog came and sniffed my balls
know, it was
while
inappropriate.
while I was in the middle of a very, very moving
Many times.
diatribe.
Diatribe. Another great word. Let's leave on that word.
Okay, write that one down.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, mate. Love you.
Love you.